Academy!
Colors! Ready, sir! Colors! Sir! Captain flag salute!
Good morning. My name is Bob Wright, and I have the pleasure to be the chair of the Board of Governors of Robert Land Academy. And it's my pleasure to welcome you to our 42nd annual graduation. Like all aspects of our life, this graduation is going to be slightly different, but it is our sincere hope that we can adequately recognize the tremendous accomplishments of your son this year in this new reality of COVID-19. Many of you may or may not be aware that Robert Land Academy is a not-for-profit organization and a registered charity. Our single purpose is to provide a safe and secure living and learning environment to maximize the potential of your son. In the simplest terms, it's our goal that their time at Robert Land Academy can be a seminal moment in their lives. It's something that they will carry on to their post-secondary education, their careers, and more importantly, throughout their lives. As I pondered what I would say to bring greetings at this graduation ceremony, I was taken by how little I remembered about my graduation in 1975. I think for our graduates today, it'll be very easy for them to remember 2020 and all the things that are going on throughout the world that affect each and every one of us. As our graduates move forward and attend prestigious universities in Canada and throughout the world, they'll make decisions on careers, and I'm sure that their time at Robert Land Academy and the things that are going on in the world will shape those decisions. So perhaps in the future we'll have graduates in the field of medicine or epidemiology, and maybe we'll have graduates who become lawyers and take on the challenges of social justice. And others perhaps can use their business degrees to look at the economic challenges that the world is going through at this time. But one thing for sure, we'll be paying great attention to the great things that your sons do going forward. On behalf of the Board of Governors of Robert Land Academy, I take great pleasure in congratulating Dr. David Harley and all the staff in their tremendous accomplishments this year under the most challenging of circumstances. When you look at these 16 graduates and all the students at Robert Land Academy, whether part of the year was through remote learning or for those students who remained at the school, we have been able to provide those students with a tremendous experience. To the Academy Sergeant Major, the company commanders, and all the operational staff who under the most extreme circumstances put together an excellent program to deal with the students who, through no fault of their own or anyone else, had to remain at Robert Land Academy. I am exceptionally proud of the work that all of them have done. In this virtual environment, I would still like every member of the faculty, operational staff, administrative and support staff to take a moment and reflect on this accomplishment. Under these most challenging circumstances, we have helped these 16 young men take the next step in the future. At the end of the day, the success of Robert Land Academy is always based on relationships. It is the relationship between staff and students that they will carry forward. The only possible success Robert Land can have is because of our great staff, and I'm eternally grateful to them. To the graduates, my sincerest congratulations on this tremendous accomplishment under challenging circumstances. You will remember this, and you will be stronger for it. To the families, thank you for your confidence in Robert Land Academy and allowing us to play a small role in your son's development. It is now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Brigadier General Jack Fox of the United States Army, retired. General Fox is a great friend of the Academy, and he is the embodiment of everything that is great about a professional soldier. He is a wonderful combination of educator, academic, compassionate and proven leader, and a boots-on-the-ground soldier. General Fox finished his career as a cabinet secretary in the New Mexico state government with the responsibility for Veterans Affairs. General Fox is a graduate of New Mexico State University, graduating in 1969 and being commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Army. While stationed at Fort Benning, Georgia, General Fox received a master's degree in education, and following his retirement from the regular Army, started a career as a teacher and coach. In 1995, he was selected as Commandant of Cadets at the New Mexico Military Institute, and in 2004, he became president of St. John's Military School in Kansas. In 2007, General Fox was recalled to the Army and served as the Deputy Adjutant General for the New Mexico National Guard. General Fox continues to serve as a member of the Board of Trustees of the Higher Learning Commission in the United States. He is a member of the New Mexico Military Institute Hall of Fame, the New Mexico State University ROTC Honor Company. He is a lifetime member of the Veterans of Foreign Wars and is a lifetime member of the Vietnam Veterans of America. And last but not least, he is the Honorary Colonel of Robert Land Academy. General Fox and his wife of 53 years, Marvine, are true friends of the Academy. They are sage advisors to the Board of Governors, and they are an inspiration to both staff and students. Ladies and gentlemen, General Jack Fox.
Graduates of Robert Land, I am so honored to participate in this ceremony with you today. And while your family, your friends, you, and the Robert Land family did not want graduation to be like this, unfortunately, that's the world we live in today. We can't control what's happening in the world, and you've seen that. Graduations all over North America and throughout Europe and Asia have been canceled because of this COVID crisis. But I want to assure you that everyone in the Robert Land family and your family are excited to give you this opportunity to graduate. And in some ways, this will be the most special graduation you will ever have because of the unique character. You've been subject to a world that's changed. And that changing world has determined the way we do your graduation. But it's important to each of us that we recognize what you've done, what you've accomplished to reach this milestone in your life. It is very important. And I want to assure each of you that everyone at Robert Land is going to do everything they can to make this day as special as humanly possible, considering the crisis we're in. You've witnessed in the last few months a changing world, a world that has been beset by a virus that is wreaking havoc, creating fear, and challenging leaders. That's the world that you're walking into now. We know it will be a better world. We know that solutions will be found. But unfortunately, at this day, at this time, people are still struggling to make the world a better place. That's going to be part of your challenge as a newly graduated member of the Robert Land family. I want to assure you first and foremost, as your honorary colonel, on behalf of the Board of Governors, the entire faculty and staff of Robert Land, along with your families, and emphasize again how proud each of us is in the accomplishments you made. I was not able to be with you this spring. I got to meet a lot of you on the Fall X. And unfortunately, because of the crisis, I couldn't be with you in person today. But I want to assure you that this will be a remarkable day, and each of us will remember it just as you do. I want to share a message with you today. You're stepping into the world to become leaders. Your challenge at Robert Land, your mastery of being a cadet has shaped you, not only academically, but in your leadership abilities and skills. You're going to need those and use those because the world is waiting for you to become a leader that we all need. You've been able to see leaders. You've been able to see the good and the bad. You've been able to see from business owners to leaders in small communities, to major cities, to Canada, the United States, China, European countries. Leaders everywhere have had to step forward and do the tough task of leading in a crisis. I ask you to watch those leaders because it's a living leadership lab, and that's the world you're stepping into. We're proud of the journey you've made, and we'll join you as you go forward in the journey ahead. I want to share you a short story, and it's important. It's a message I want to leave with you. And it's about the choices, because from now on, you're going to have to make choices with impact. This is a true story. It's from a book called The Seeds We Sow by author Gary Bean, who happens to be a friend of mine. But he has been moved by human kindness. And that's a story that I want to share with you today. In the American Civil War, in the late 1860s, there was a black family that escaped slavery and were hiding on a very nice gentleman's farm in Missouri. During the night, slave traders raided the farm and captured the mother and infant baby boy. These two African-American slaves were rushed away because they could still be sold in the southern states. But they did leave a ransom note. The farmer, Moses Carter, against the recommendations of family and friend, risked his life to go pay the ransom and save that little boy. That little boy and his mother were protected when they got back and raised. And with the help of neighbors and friends, that little boy received an education. That little boy's name was George Washington Carver. George Washington Carver faced a hostile world, but he made choices to enter it. He became a scientist, a very famous scientist who made a difference in the world that we live in today in agriculture. While he was doing work at one of the universities, he befriended a little boy, son of one of the men he had met. This little boy was 5 years old and 6 years old. And George Washington Carver would walk with the little boy, and he would share knowledge of plants and how to make plants better. But he was kind and decent. That little boy, Henry Wallace, grew up to be the Secretary of Agriculture for the United States and Vice President of the United States. And he was Secretary of Agriculture during a great famine and the Great Depression in the 1930s and the start of World War II. And people all over the world were starving. And they were having trouble because they were raising crops in a traditional method. Henry Wallace remembered and honored what George Washington Carver had taught him. And Henry Wallace backed scientists that wanted to improve agriculture. And he met a gentleman named Norman Borlaug. And he helped Norman Borlaug. And during this depression, during this famine, during this war, He was able to help and influence getting Norman Borlaug to go do studies in Mexico and help the people in Mexico in raising crops, because crops were not being raised to produce to their full potential. And he studied rice growing and wheat growing, and he developed new methods. In fact, in the 1960s, there was a forecast that India would face starvation because they couldn't produce enough wheat to feed their people. Norman Borlaug went to India, and he trained and helped those scientists there and farmers there. And sure enough, they changed the way they grew crops, and the world was fed. Now, my point in this is about choices. Norman Borlaug received the Nobel Prize for Peace, the Congressional Gold Medal from the United States, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And when he received these awards, he was credited for saving the lives of 2 billion people. Now, I ask of you, what would Norman Borlaug have become if he wouldn't have met Henry Wallace? What would Henry Wallace be if he had not met George Washington Carver? And if Moses Carver would not have risked his life to save the young baby George Washington Carver, what would happen? Potentially, the world would not have saved 2 billion lives. George Washington Carver never saw what Norman Borlaug did. Moses Carver, who saved the young man, never saw what happened. But my point in all of this is you're entering a world to make choices. You are going to have to make a change. We desperately need leaders, but we need leaders of kindness and empathy, of courage. So as you enter this world today, you're going to be faced with choices and to make decisions. The staff at Robert Land, your family, we won't be there to assist you in making those decisions. I'm sure if you contact for advice, we will always be here for you. But as you grow, you're entering the next step of your life, this next phase into manhood. Just remember, and I quote Professor Dumbledore from Harry Potter, it is the choices we make rather than the skills we possess that determines who we are. You're about to enter a world of making choices. Whether you see the results of those choices or not in your lifetime is not as important as the fact that you will influence others and your actions will change the world. I am honored to participate in your graduation ceremony. I join everyone in the Board of Governors at Robert Land, the faculty, the staff, your company commanders, company sergeants, ASMs. I join all of them in telling you, along with your family and your friends and loved ones, that we are so very proud of you. We wish you the very best in this next step in the great adventure that awaits for you. I salute you.
Good morning, members of the Board of Directors, Dr. Harley, cherished family members, and fellow classmates. It is an honor to represent the graduating class and speak today as the valedictorian. Today marks not only an achievement to our milestone, but also the beginning of another challenge. Many of us came into Robert Land Academy for a variety of reasons. Some, like myself, came here for a more disciplined lifestyle. Others came to improve their academics. On my first day, I remember lugging the 2 heavy laundry bags up the staircase. These laundry bags were brimming with BDUs, tracksuits, t-shirts, sports socks, dress socks, underwear, shampoo, toothpaste, deodorant, empty binders, a clunky lockbox, a dictionary we never intended to use. It was the weight of the world, and I was too weak then to carry them. I thought I was too slow. The officers in their military outfits would discipline me. Luckily, an NCO kindly helped me carry the burden into a place called the barracks. Disaster averted. Then I realized that I was not the only one who felt afraid, traumatized, or even overwhelmed. We all arrived at an unfamiliar locale, with our identity removed to relearn how to become a man. We learned to fold our t-shirts, stack our underwear, roll our socks, polish our boots, press our uniforms. We have to mop the floors, scrub the bathroom, shine the windows, and dust the ledges. And our being? It completely changed after that. Throughout the days and months and years, we endured countless hardships and experienced many failures. Going on charge, maybe it was failing a math test, or failing POs. However, as Martin Luther King Jr. once asserted, we must accept finite disappointment, but never lose finite hope. Indeed, we carry the weight of hope on our shoulders. We hope for growth, for change, and for success. I recall the phrase from a former head boy. In the end, we are one big family. But what made us family? We came from different backgrounds, lived in different barracks, and held different dreams. It is hope that binds us together. It tells us that we're not alone. It's a voice that whispers, it's worth it, and you're worth it. Therefore, never lose hope. Hard work can really pay off. And gradually, our laundry bags became an empty rolled up bag in our middle shelf at our disposal. Many individuals assisted us to get to this stage. Parents, who made the important decision to send us to Robert Land, which became our life's turning point. Teachers, who spent extra time during tutorials to aid us through the challenges throughout the academic life. Duty staff, who provided security at night as well as listening to our complaints and encouraging us to move forward. The nursing, administration, maintenance, kitchen, and matron staffs who tended to our sickness, sorted our letters, fixed our bathrooms, cooked our meals, and washed our clothes to keep our daily lives running smoothly. And on behalf of the graduating class, we thank you. And today, it is time for us to enter yet another recruit course. Once a grade 8 graduate myself, this is my second time graduating from this academy. To my fellow grade 8 graduates, it is also another recruit course for you. High school will definitely be even more challenging and even more demanding than what you have experienced. However, remember that you gained the strength to shoulder the laundry bags that will carry you through new obstacles, higher expectations, and the challenge to new dreams. To my fellow grade 12 graduates, we too will become recruits again, and our laundry bags will be filled with different challenges of life. No matter what college we choose, what career we pursue, what relationships we establish, the laundry bags will never be empty again, and we have to withstand the pain and anxiety it gives climbing up the staircase of life. Nevertheless, if we use proper methods that we have learned from the academy to face these new obstacles, our laundry bags will be a pleasure for us to shoulder. Thank you.
As the current headmaster of Robert Land Academy, I would like to welcome all of you to this first in our history, a virtual graduation ceremony. The last few months have seen many challenges for all of us. We have relied upon extraordinary efforts by staff to convert our academic program to distance learning. In 7 days, we were able to make available virtual classrooms in real time, reach out to support students and parents at home, while also meeting the needs of boys who remained on campus under the auspices of providing an essential service. While teachers taught from home, operational and administrative staff came to work each day and did whatever was necessary to keep things working. I am proud of what the staff here were able to accomplish under great pressure and the most difficult of circumstances. This level of selfless dedication to this school and its students has been inspiring. But so too has been the active participation of members of the Board of Governors who have and continue to volunteer their time to provide guidance and support to the school. We are honored to have both men and women on the board who habitually go above and beyond in their efforts to provide leadership and expertise in service of the Academy. What, you may ask, is the reason for this level of cooperation and dedication? And the answer is simple. The tie that binds all of us is a belief in what we are doing. This is a belief that has come about as a result of the direct experience of witnessing year after year of successes not given to boys, but earned by their effort, resolve, and latent ability. Unlike programs that treat adolescent males as children, we approach them as young men and adults in the making. Success can only be meaningful when accompanied by the possibility of failure. As one author put it, rewarding merit implies treating people as adults, whereas magicking away the sense of failure is motivated by the desire to treat them as children. Nurtured and directed within a unique program by unique individuals, Robert Land Academy has provided an opportunity for young men that stands alone within the range of educational alternatives. As such, there is a shared belief that the world is richer through its existence, and that in its absence there would be nothing of its equal to take its place. Private schools always have been, and continue to be, the true pioneers in education and educational reform. The fragility of human existence is mirrored by an equal fragility of unique schools and programs. Their continuation, if taken for granted, results in extinction, and their existence, if it is to be sustained, requires skilled husbandry and dedication. Support from within has also been met with support from without, and so it is that parents and students were and remain our greatest advocates. Graduates, ex-students, realized at the time, or came to realize in time, the benefits they had derived from being at the Academy. Although most of them are now convinced that the program here is so much softer than it used to be, the majority of boys currently enrolled believe that it is much harder than it should be. No doubt they will too complain in the future about the softening of the program. However, there is a consistency in this if you look for it. And so thank you for all of your participation in this ongoing experiment that is Robert Land Academy, and congratulations to all for the shared responsibility in making possible the successes celebrated today. I would like to now address the graduating class with a short presentation entitled Rhymes, for reasons that I hope will become obvious through its delivery. For those of you who are now graduating today, it is a day in your life that you will long remember, not so much as the end of high school, but rather as the true beginning of your entry into adulthood. All of your past memories and work has now come together to form this moment in the present, which, like all of our present moments, have moved from the future to now, and will shortly pass into the past. Beyond the events of your personal history, there are those current events around you that qualify for the history books, and about which your children will read. As we speak, hundreds of thousands of people are dead from the COVID-19 virus, with many more to follow in the coming weeks and months. Tens of thousands of people are staging mass demonstrations throughout the United States and the world, demanding an end to racism. These are the times in which you are now living and in which your personal history is taking place. Most of you never liked history much, especially anything that dealt with events before you were born. Henry Ford announced that history is more or less bunk. The German philosopher Hegel remarked that what we learn from history is that we do not learn from history. And Mark Twain concluded that history never repeats itself, but it does rhyme. In the same manner that each year's graduation is much the same, the players are always different. Each year rhymes with the previous year, but each is distinctive in its uniqueness, and so it is with each of you bound together by an event in common, but separated inexorably by virtue of your own individual identity, that you rhyme with the past 41 years of graduating classes. When you think back at this year, it will be impossible to do so without remembering how the world changed overnight and how a small invisible virus originating thousands of miles away would transform the world around you in a matter of a few weeks and months. Something like this happened in 1918 to my grandparents. After suffering through the death and destruction of World War I on the battlefields of Europe, they were part of a generation who experienced the Spanish flu. That pandemic saw some 500 million people infected and between 50 and 100 million deaths before it passed into the history books. The same history books that most of you found to be totally uninteresting. However, that was because in your experience it had nothing to rhyme with until now. As this most recent pandemic has unfolded, what has been instructive is to compare how individual countries, cultures, and leaders have responded to the challenges. In comparing countries like South Korea and New Zealand with other countries like Brazil and the United States, glaring contrasts emerge. The results have shown themselves as laying bare the inherent weaknesses, intellectual, emotional, and moral, that characterize the responses that have inevitably led to predictable results. First, the inability to think through and clearly identify the nature of a problem. Secondly, the emotional tendency to suppress, ignore, and even falsify facts in the service of supporting beliefs that we wish to retain and denying a reality that we refuse to confront. Thirdly, adherence to false priorities giving rise to the tendency to minimize the pain and suffering of others in the interests of our own material comfort and gain. And so the trilogy of blindness, stupidity, and self-absorption combine to bring about failure, ignorance, and suffering. What is true in the macrocosm is also true in the microcosm. The changes about you and within you will require A, the ability to think clearly, B, the possession of the facts and knowledge upon which to make sound conclusions, C, the self-control and inner discipline to follow through with decisions, and D, the emotional depth to be able to provide meaning and direction to life. The ability to respond quickly and appropriately to change is essential to the survival of the individual, as it is to the survival of the species. Of equal importance is the quality of that survival, since for life to be lived well, it must also be worth living. The world you now leave after high school is a changed world that will require you to also change to meet its demands. The world is not only changed, but also constantly changing, varying only in the speed of those changes. Time may appear to stand still, and circumstances remain unchanged, but this is an illusion. More than 500 years before the birth of Christ, the Greek philosopher Heraclitus remarked that you can never walk into the same river twice. A world constantly in flux requires a mind constantly able to adapt. Failure to do so will spell disaster. With skill and resolve, you will learn to be able to steer your ship. You cannot, however, direct the current. Most importantly, being able to utilize the forces of the current to guide you should never give way to the belief that you indeed control it. The mass demonstrations and protests that are now taking place demanding change are bringing attention to the barriers that exist between people. This is a result of focusing on differences that divide us at the expense of the commonalities that unite us. Given the diversity of nationality, race, and religions that you have experienced at this school, you have come to a better understanding of each other through the sharing of common experiences. This is a growth that once started, subsequent experience must needs build upon. Just as history never repeats itself exactly but rhymes, so humanity never duplicates itself exactly but rhymes. This resonates with a fundamental dialectic of human experience in the form of unity and diversity. Both form polarities of the same dynamic. It is important that while celebrating your uniqueness, that you never forget the communal brotherhood that defines your humanity. So what I want to leave you with on this day is to stress the importance of change as a theme in life. change as a fact in life, and indeed change as itself being life. Our response to it defines us, and in the end becomes us. To embrace change is to embrace life, and you are embarking today on the rest of the voyage that will be uniquely yours while rhyming with those around you. Go out into the history that surrounds us, and in it the making, become part of it. Winston Churchill remarked after the success of the Battle of Britain that this was not the end, nor the beginning of the end, but rather the end of the beginning. Today marks your end of the beginning. There is more to come. Embrace the challenge, and may you find happiness and fulfillment through your own distinctive rhyme. Thank you.
I've applied and been accepted to Langara College, Douglas College, and the University of Victoria. And where I would like to study is the University of Victoria for sociology.
Hi, my name is Reese Anthony. I've been attending Robert Land for 4 years. I've been accepted to Algonquin College for a forestry technician. That's what the course I'm taking.
Hi, my name is Andrew, and I've been at RLA for 2 years. I have been accepted to Concordia University into John Molson School of Business for marketing.
Hi, my name is Evan Gao. I've been at RLA for 2 years now, and I've committed to McGill University in the Faculty of Arts, where I will pursue psychology.
Hello, my name is Kevin Huang, and I have been going to Robert Land Academy as a student for 1 school year. The university that I have chosen to attend is University of Western, and for the program of medical sciences.
Hi, my name is Samson Lau. I studied in Robert Land Academy for 5 years, and I am studying computer engineering at University of Toronto.
My name is Jonathan Lee, and I've been at the academy for 4 years. I chose Seneca for hospitality, hotel, and restaurant management.
My name is Leo Lee, and I've been academy for 2 years. I've been accepted to Carleton University, and I chose the commerce program.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Pimentel. I've been at Robert Land Academy for 4 years, and I'm going to Skilled Trades College of Canada for electrical technician course.
Hi, my name is Zikampu. I had been Roboland Academy around 2 years. Finally, I applied for University of Brock for the accounting.
Hello, my name is Lucas Salvador. I've been attending RLA for the past 2 years, and I'll be attending Western University for their business program in the fall.
My name is Marcus Levatinsky. I've been attending RLA for 1 semester, and I will be going to Western University in September for social sciences.
My name is Suji George. Got accepted into the University of Toronto for social sciences.
My name is Matt Station. I've been at RLA for 1 year, and I accepted my offer to the University of Brock for sports management.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Williams. I have been in RLA for 2 years right now. I am accepted in McMaster University for Kingsology programs, and then I also get a scholarship for McMaster's University.
My name is Justin Jung. I have been at Robert Land Academy for 5 years. Next year, I'll be spending my time at McMaster University for engineering degree.
Sunset! Ready, sir! Sunset! Sir! Captain flag salute!
My name is Jeremy. Sorry.
Cut. Take two.
Let's just check. What's that in the background there? Is that is there anyone else?
It's a light. It's like a flower scene.
Is there anywhere else you can sit without that in the background, or are you happy with that?
I can just block it.
like this.
I can just do this. Is that okay? Can you still see me, sir?
No, it's a great big light in the way now, Lee J. There's a light
Oh.
above you. It's too bright. Try and answer the question back with the question in your answer. So if I said to you, what's your favorite color? Don't say green. Say, my favorite color is green.
My favorite color is green. Okay, yes, sir.
Let's try that quickly. What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is green.
Okay, what was your favorite food at Robert Land Academy?
The burgers, the pasta, and the salads.
Can I restart? I kind of messed up. They're too close. Computer engineering. Yes, I applied for computer engineering. What am I doing? I'll retake. Retake.
Okay, take two.
One thing is, can you take a picture of my hair? Look at my hair though.
Hi, my name is Samson Lau. I studied in Robert Land Academy for 5 years. I applied. I'm going to. Wait. Wait. I remember. Okay. Yeah. I don't want to say I applied. Okay. I went to. Okay. And I am studying. Okay. I got it.
Before coming to RLA, the chances of getting accepted into the universities that I've been accepted to was a big fat goose egg, so 0%. Sorry, my mom's laughing in the background, so it's making me laugh before.
That's because you said goose egg.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I received a scholarship of 4,000 over 4 years, sir.
Brilliant. Okay, you don't have to put the sir at the end if you don't want to.
Struggling in school, and my habits were needed to be strengthened, sir. I had a sir at the end. It's just a habit.
You can edit that part out.
I'll edit that.
Thank you.
I was accepted to University of Waterloo, McMaster, University of Guelph, University of Western University. Can I retry that, sir? I was accepted to University of Guelph, University of Waterloo, York University, Western University, and I accepted my the University of Guelph, University of Waterloo, and Western University, and I have accepted my Western. Oh my God. Am I doing the worst out of everybody, sir?
You're the first person, so yes, you are doing the worst.
I'm setting a low bar, sir.
My favorite memory from the academy is winning the 4X.
Wow. Thanks for the detail.